How's it going, Remorse? Mr. Sharx here, force-feeding you bad news, which will inevitably leave you with the aftertaste of a harsh reality.
Bon appetit, bitch!
Now, I'm sure you're all concerned as to what I used to make such a vile meal. Was it cyanide? No, don't worry, it won't kill you. However, it will make you salty. It is the fact that the kid you hated in school, who always copied off everyone's work, got good scores, and never got caught, grew up to start a YouTube channel with people who had the same infamy in school, and has gathered 14 million subscribers and has raked in more money than you ever will. That channel I'm talking about is Brightside. What an ironic name. Okay, so originally I was going to make a video on these masterpieces you see on your screen because I thought they were boring, unnecessary, and complete waste of your time. Trust me, I watched 3 of these things. You'd much rather be doing your own private research instead of watching 10 minutes of a robot speaking to you with things you should already know. I will dig deeper when I actually make that video. Anyway, I watched Brightside's video last of all, and I just gotta say, it had an uncanny resemblance to Mind Warehouse's video. It was like it was made with the same mold and filled with the same contents. It felt like I was watching the same video again. And I kind of got suspicious at that point. I wanted to see if Brightside has done this before and is continuing to do it after that video. It was uploaded a few days ago, and fascinatingly, I found 4 other examples out of 5 videos I researched. That's right, boys, there was an exception. Congratulations, Brightside. There was 1 video you didn't copy. What do you want, a trophy? Alright, so here's how the video will work. I will start with the video that I believe Brightside is ripping information from, and then I'll go to Brightside's video to show what they ripped off. Alright, so let's start with the shark video. Oh boy, what a lovely thumbnail. It is so not like the Origins Explained thumbnail. Now, I'm in no way, shape, or form defending Mind Warehouse. It seems like these guys aren't very smart because of this part where they use footage from Star Trek, The Last Voyage. A movie about bringing whales to the future, even though it's a video about great white sharks in captivity. You know what, I'm just gonna leave it at that.
If you've forgotten what this carnivorous fish looks like, let us remind you.
Let's see if you can remember what a great white shark looks like.
Back and sides of this fish are painted in grey, brown or black, and its belly is white, therefore the name.
Great white sharks can be gray, brownish, or almost black, but their underbelly is always white, hence the name.
A large white shark can reach about 20 feet in length.
Species can get as big as 20 feet long.
To 7,000 pounds.
For their weight, it can reach a whopping 7,000 pounds.
Example, a female large white shark known as Nicole swam from the waters of Africa to Australia and back in only 9 months.
Great whites can make the 6,900-mile journey from Australia to Africa in just 99 days.
In the wild, they eat carrion only if they're dying of hunger, otherwise they just don't. It so happens that the white sharks must chase and catch their prey to feel good.
Since they need to hunt down their prey and eat it alive, they often refuse to eat in captivity. They basically don't want to be spoon-fed by humans. Well, if they're starving, they might agree to eat whatever their human captor is offering.
There are only about 3,500 of them left in the world.
There are just about 3,500 of them left in the world.
The jaws of a great white shark can cost from $20,000 to $50,000, and one tooth $600 to $800.
Of course, tourists love buying pendants made from shark teeth. This practice is so widespread that the price of a particularly big tooth can reach $1,000, and a jaw can be sold for $35,000. It's totally
Alright, so these videos have the exact same template. Start with the question of the video, go into the great white's anatomy, and then all of a sudden go into fluff, which has nothing to do with the video, but is still about the great white, and then ramble about why there isn't one in captivity and how it's always failed again and again, and then out of nowhere go into poaching and the endangerment of the great white. Want to know something funny about the 3,500 great white sharks left in the world stuff that they said? Well, let me tell you something. If you were to look up how many great whites are left in the world, the first thing that will come up is the fact that there's actually 2,400 in the U.S. waters alone. And then after that is an article about how many sharks there are in Australian waters. There are 8,000. Wow. That's more than double than what these videos are saying. So I got pretty skeptical of where they got these numbers. And I did find an article that said that there were 3,500 sharks left in the world from 2010. And that is not an early search. I had to dig deep to find that one. And that can't be a coincidence. There's no way they use the same outdated source for their videos. And because my warehouse's video became before this one, it leads me to believe that this video had stuff ripped from the other. Great job, dude. Great job, Brightside. I'm done with this video. Let's move on. Daniel, back at it again with ripping off thumbnails.
Theory that when the Earth was developing, there was a smaller twin planet nearby called Theia, which was about the size of Mars. About 5 billion years ago, Theia crashed into Earth, and most of it was absorbed into the Earth's crust. The rest of the planet drifted off and eventually became our moon.
4 billion years ago, when the Earth was still just a baby, a gigantic space rock the size of Mars and with the lovely name Theia collided with our planet. As a result, a huge chunk of the Earth broke away and later became our satellite.
This bulge gives the Earth a roundish shape, closer to that of an egg.
Despite common belief, isn't perfectly round. It's more like a squashed sphere, kind of like how my head is shaped. So its mass is...
Hudson Bay is located in Canada. This area has an uneven mass. When there is an uneven mass, there is an uneven gravity. At one time, there were glaciers in this area. Today, they are melted. However, the burden of gravity, it still remains in ice sheets under the Earth's crust. This has caused the gravity in Hudson Bay to be lower than anywhere else on...
irregular and differs in various places, which causes wobbles of gravity in different areas of the planet. One of these gravitational anomalies is found in Canada's Hudson Bay, where the gravity is much weaker than anywhere else on the planet. A 2007 study found the reason for such a phenomenon is melted glaciers.
Bottom of the Earth's oceans, there are 20 million tons of gold.
About 20 million tons of gold can be found inside our very own planet and in the seas.
The only reason that nobody's attempted to get the gold is that 1 liter of water contains just 13 billionths of a gram of gold.
The metal is extremely diluted. You can only get a gram of gold for every 100 million tons of seawater. But
if it were possible to get gold from the ocean, there would be enough for every person on Earth to get 9 pounds of it.
Earth's inhabitants would get 9 pounds of this treasure.
Good luck on that ever happening.
Can't we at least try, please?
There are 3 lakes in Cameroon, Nios, Manaon, and Kivu. They're located near the border of the Congo.
Well, on the border of the Democratic Republic of the Congo and Rwanda, as well as in Cameroon, there are 3 deadly explosive lakes. Nios, Manaon, and Kivu are crater lakes.
It was discovered that the gas cloud was carbon dioxide that was released when the lakes exploded. The reason they exploded was that they were sitting on volcanic Earth.
That are located over volcanic Earth. This means that magma lurking below the surface emits carbon dioxide into the waters of the lake. This carbon dioxide builds up in a thick layer at the bottom of the lakes until pressure gives way.
Okay, once again, I am not defending Facts First, because they also stole from someone, that being Brightside. Okay, so they stole the topic about Pangea, but nothing else. See for yourself. And again, this video came out months before the Brightside video. What the heck? Alright, so I'm gonna do one more. Just one more. And then I'm done with this topic. Wow, you guys are cruel. You guys ripped off Life Noggin's thumbnail and you were one word away from ripping his title. Why? Okay, so I will be talking about ASAP Science instead of Life Noggin for this compilation, just so you know.
Sleep. You can never have enough of it, it seems.
Sleep. What a sweet word. How often you just can't get enough of it.
Actually, science understands relatively little about why we sleep or how it evolved in the first place. After all, laying unconscious and dormant for hours on end while predators lurk hardly seems advantageous or smart.
What would happen if you stopped wasting time on this process? You would surely have a lot of free time for learning something new, doing sports, working, or just hanging out with friends.
Well, after your first sleepless night, your mesolimbic system becomes stimulated and dopamine runs rampant. And this may actually trigger some extra energy, motivation, positivity, and even sex drive.
But after 24 hours without sleep, you'll start to feel happy and elated. Almost any joke, however stupid, will be able to crack you up, and you will find funny some really strange things. You will seem to radiate giddiness and positivity. The cherry on the cake will be your increased sex drive. Sounds amazing, and not like something you would expect from a lack of sleep, right? The reason for these strange feelings lies in the fact that your brain increases dopamine levels trying to compensate for your lack of sleep.
Sounds appealing, but it's a slippery slope.
However, closer to the end of the day, this happy mood is evaporating.
Your brain slowly begins to shut off the regions responsible for planning and evaluating decisions, leading to more impulsive behavior.
What's more, your behavior will get more impulsive.
Sets in, you'll find yourself with slower reaction times and reduced perceptual and cognitive functions.
You start to have problems with memory, suffer from the increased reaction time, and people around you may believe that you're drunk. It will become extremely tough to plan something or evaluate your own decisions.
It loses its ability to properly metabolize glucose, and the immune system stops working as well.
As soon as the second day without deep sleep starts, you will have some important physical functions getting shut by your body. For example, its ability to metabolize glucose will be lost. And what is even worse, your immune system will start to let you down, becoming less efficient.
That is to say, sleep-deprived individuals appeared less healthy and less attractive than when they were well rested.
As a result, your body will have less and less energy, and you will begin to look pale and a bit ill.
In some cases, 3 days of no sleep has led to hallucinations.
Start on the third day. You will start to hallucinate, although this may begin a little earlier.
Scientifically documented case of being awake was 264 hours or 11 days.
How long is it possible to survive without sleep? The maximum recorded time was approximately 264 hours. That's about 11 days. After that, the body shuts down completely, which leads
The surprising truth is that they suffered no serious long-term health effects.
to manage to fall asleep on the 11th day. Shockingly, there won't be any long-term health effects.
Disease of the brain, which causes progressively worsening insomnia or sleeplessness, leading to hallucinations, dementia, and ultimately death. Over time, the lack of sleep becomes worse, and the body's organs begin to shut down.
Their condition was worsening gradually, and they still managed to sleep from time to time for the first several months of the disease. As the illness worsens, such symptoms as dementia appear.
This disease has only affected around 100 people in the world, but their average survival span was around 18 months.
Such patients can survive for a maximum of about a year and a half.
In conclusion, the structure and fillings of each Brightside video is the exact same as their counterpart. But what else is there to see from Brightside other than these kinds of videos where they steal stuff? Well, not much. Just riddle compilations and then versus now compilations. And if you think that these videos are somewhat different, well, that's because Brightside kind of switched the words to avoid plagiarism. They added a lot of fluff, and they try to add a completely unrelated section to extend the watch time and kind of rule out any similarities anyone can make. And that's pretty much all there is. Thank you so much for watching. And also, thank you for giving me positive feedback on my Merc music rant. And because I thought they were so nice, I thought it was only natural to make a shout out. That being to this boy who also made a Merc music rant. That's all from me, folks, and treat every week like Shark Week.